Our wilderness trips provide a unique backdrop for students and groups to come out and have few distractions, to be out of their comfort zone, and to be in the middle of God's creation in Colorado.
For me, I've been involved in student ministry for about 10 years. And it's trips like the Ute Trail trip we took this past summer with our students that I see probably the most fruit and the most life change. While there's great things in the big conferences and the huge bands and the media and the lights, I think for this generation of youth, I'm seeing more change when we get out into the wilderness and there's a stillness that is offered. There's a quality of guides that Ute Trail offers. They know what they're doing with mountaineering, but they also know what they're doing spiritually with our students. And so it was fun just to sit back and to spend time with our students and to talk about faith, to talk about life, to talk about the things that matter. They were challenged in a way that many of them have never been challenged before. So when you're sitting around at night, sitting in your crazy creeks after a meal, there's conversation that they've never had before. Some of our students were asked questions that they've never been asked before, questions of meaning, questions of purpose. We particularly brought students, a lot of them, several who were walking with the Lord, but others who had a lot of questions and didn't believe. And this is a place where they felt safe to ask some of those good questions about life, about faith. And they did it in a background and a scenery that's probably the most beautiful place they've ever been, with a bunch of people who cared for them. Even strangers, when they meet the Ute Trail staff, people that don't know them, my students felt loved right off the bat. And that's kind of the quality that Ute Trail offered us this past summer on the trail.
As a youth pastor, I've taken a couple trips with Sky Ranch Ute Trail, and I keep coming back because I've had a profound experience with my students, and I've seen profound life change in the lives of my students. Seeing God in creation in the Rocky Mountains, being a community on trail and through life stories, and getting to experience solitude and quiet times in the backdrop of the Rocky Mountains is a profound experience.
At Ute Trail, we want to work with you to customize your trip, whether that's 4 to 6 night trip, backpacking, kayak touring, or doing a combination of both called an adventure trip. Our hope and goal is to send you home knowing your kids better, having experienced Christ in the wilderness.
For me, I'd say in the 10 years of youth ministry, bringing my kids into the wilderness to Ute Trail was probably the most impactful week I've seen in their lives. I've taken students to conferences and we've done a lot of different things, but there's something about taking your students into the wilderness. Cell phones are off, iPods are off. There's a stillness there. There's a beauty of God's creation.
As a youth pastor, I get hundreds of invitations each year to go to this summer camp or this summer experience, and it's hard to know how to wade through the options. The great thing about Sky Ranch Ute Trail is everything is taken care of for you. They provide safe, well-trained guides. They provide all the backpacking equipment and the trails and all the food for each meal. They take care of all the rest so that we as youth pastors can be with our students for a tremendous one-week experience in the wilderness.
For the last decade, we've been running wilderness trips in the backcountry. We'll have many questions from leaders about the concern of safety. We want you to know that we work very closely with the local search and rescue and the local sheriff, and that if there's any concerns on trail, we do have a way to communicate with them. Our guide staff have committed to 2 years and both confident and competent in the hard skills of mountaineering. We've also asked that they've had a year of ministry experience before we accept them as guides, so that they are confident to connect with your kids, confident in the gospel, and also in talking through Christ. Come, take a trip with us.